Guy on the Whatever podcast is like the biggest chud loser alpha male I've ever seen. Basically, one time he like was trying to open like a can of pickles, or I don't know, it was a jar of something, and he couldn't even open it, and he tried to make fun of the girl and say like, it's because you have sweaty hands. I'm not a fragile man, and I don't have just a fat double chin just flowing all over my body. Like, I don't know, but basically, recently, this one girl was like, you're calling women derogatory terms, and but by your logic, your wife has 3 baby daddies. So wouldn't that make her what you believe is a derogatory term? And he got super like, mad, pissed off, and he was like, don't call my wife that. Don't talk about my wife. And then he started saying homophobic slurs to her, and it was just like a whole thing where he brought on his wife, and she was like, you don't talk about me like that. I'm not that. And she was like, I don't care if you're that. I don't care if you are anything. It's just your husband is degrading women, but not realizing that technically by his stance, you're one of those women as well. So you should take a look at your husband. And it really does go to show these people that are making money from alpha male stuff, they're at the end of the day probably the most weak, insecure men, because most of them don't have actual moral compasses. They just want to be, misogynistic. They just want to be like losers on the internet. So little kids can be like, oh, look at, he's owning OnlyFans girls. Like, that's his whole fan base, and that's him as a whole. I don't know if he actually believes it, or maybe it's just like to get a check at this point, but you're a loser.